It's a good day again from the Shaking family on day 457 of our weight loss journey. It's early Monday morning, it's just after 7, and I thought I better get the video out in case they call me to go and do another induction at this new company and pick up a ute or whatever. So we'll just see what happens with that. Hopefully can start earning a bit of money, because sitting at home here doesn't pay rent. So I'm not going to go on too long today with the video. Yesterday's treat meal, I just got some pizzas delivered. I couldn't be bothered with anything else. Probably most wrong thing to have, but yeah, it is what it is. I'm just yeah, totally fed up at the moment, so it was the easiest thing to do. So just had the pizzas, and even that's getting really pricey now. For 2 pizzas were $50. So it was originally $72, and then I cancelled the order, and then suddenly there was a $20 odd off. So yeah, it ended up with $54 or something for 2 pizzas and 2 little sides. So yeah, that's not the cheapest option either anymore. Doesn't seem like you can get any fast food cheap. You might as well go to a restaurant. Anyway, so I said yesterday we were going to do the pickled fish recipe, which I did, and I'll put that video up now. And yes, I hope you enjoy it. So see you after to just finish this video off. Okay, so as I said yesterday, I'm going to do a cooking video again today. And I've got the fish here. I'm just going to slice it into pieces. You don't want huge fillets like this. You just want smaller pieces. So I'll point the camera down at it with what I'm doing. So I've taken the fish out of the packet that it came in, and I'm just going to, I've dried it off with a paper towel, and I'm just going to slice it into pieces about that size. I'm dropping it onto some more paper towel just to keep it dry. I think I'm going to leave that tail piece. I'll probably get 3 pieces out of each fillet, and I've got 4 fillets here, so that'll make 16 pieces of pickled fish. As I say, normally I normally try and use something like flake. In South Africa we use snoek. That's it. So I'm just going to put that onto paper towel and then dry it off again, and then I'll come back when I actually put it in egg flour and into the fry pan. So what I've got here, I've got the fish that I've previously cut up, and then I've got an egg wash. It's just a couple of eggs that I've beaten up, and then I've got a bowl of flour mixed with some salt, pepper and mixed herbs, just to coat the fish. So I'll put the fish into the flour, coat them with into the egg, coat them with the flour, and then put them in the fry pan, which I have on the stove here. I have the oil heating up here. I've got a bowl there to put the cooked fish back into, to drain off after it's been fried. And as I've said, that's the egg wash and the flour that I'm going to coat the fish in, and then I've got the fish here on a platter. So just want to check that temperature of the flour, that oil. It seems to be going good. You don't want it too hot and you don't want it too cold, so you don't want to burn the outside before the fish is cooked, but you want it to get a nice a pale golden colour. Yeah, I think we're probably about ready to go with that. So I'll take my first piece and I'll just dip it into the egg. Make sure it's coated properly with the egg, because that'll help the flour stick. Then I'll drop it into the flour. Using my other hand, I'll put flour over the top of it, so I don't get both hands full of flour. And then I'll just drop that into the oil and do the next piece. going to just turn it down a bit. I don't want it to get too hot. So let that cool. That oil is probably at the right temperature. Just give that fish a nice cook. Now once it's cooked, I'll put it in there to drain, and then I'll do another batch. Yeah, so that's about how we want it. Once the other side's up to the same sort of colour, then I'll put it into there to drain, and I'll do the next batch. So I'll bring you back when I'm just about finished. Pointless to just watching fish fry. What I've done, I've washed that pan out after I've done the fish, and I put some new clean oil in again, and I also have cut up, I've sliced up a bunch of onion. They say 3 to 4 big onions, but I only had one big one, so I've done the big one and 3 smaller ones. And then I'm going to fry those onions off now. So I'm just going to fry these onions up until they become a little bit translucent. And the last time I did this, I made my own spices up, but Margaret and Lindsay went to the South African shop, and they actually picked up a pre-packaged pickled curried fish slices. It had bay leaf at the bottom here, but they didn't look very good, so I'm going to put my own bay leaf in, and I'll put some allspice in as well. So while those onions are frying, I'm going to put the spices in and let them fry off as well. I don't know what's in here because, as I say, this is a pre-packaged mix. When I read on the back, this one pouch was supposed to be to coat the fish, so I did my own thing there as well. And I'll add some bay leaves and allspice as well. Just get that frying off, get those spices nice and to release the fragrance of them, you know, and the flavour. And I'm also the leftover flour from cooking the fish I'm going to put in here as well to thicken it. So fry that off, just fry the flour off, you know. I'm going to deglaze this pan now and then make the sauce. So I'll just use a bit of water first, just to deglaze it. And now I'm going to use vinegar. We've traditionally used brown vinegar, or bulk vinegar I guess you call it, not white vinegar. It's just a different flavour, so I'll put some vinegar in now. And now we just mix that through, and that's I guess where it gets the pickled name from. The spices in that are the curry part, and now we got vinegar making up that sauce, which gives it the pickled flavour, I guess. So you don't want it too thin, but you don't want it too thick either. And what's going to happen is once this is done, I'll put a layer of this in a pan. I'll put a layer of fish and then another layer of this, and let that, and you know, if it stands for 2 weeks, it's better. It develops flavour as it stands. So being as Easter is next weekend, we'll be eating it next weekend, and it can just stand in the fridge and develop all these flavours in the meantime. So it's still a little bit thick, so I'm going to go with a bit more vinegar. We just put a bit of sugar in there as well, just to cut through that sharpness. Probably about 4 teaspoons. So So I'll leave it for that now. As you can see, it's pretty a simple dish to make. You fry the fish, you make the sauce, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how we put it all together. Okay, so I have this Tupperware basting dish that I'm going to put the fish in. So I'll put a layer of the sauce on first, then I'll put a layer of fish, another layer of sauce, another layer of fish, and top it off with the sauce. Right, so we go in with a layer of the sauce first. We just put it in there like that, spread it around a bit, just so that the fish is going to touch it everywhere. And then this flavour will transfer back into the fish. So we just do that. It's easier with my fingers because try and fit it in nicely. And then I'll just do another layer of sauce. And then I'll do another layer of fish. Put some more sauce in. And then I'll get the last of the sauce over that. Yeah, that's basically it. So we just put this in the fridge now. I'll let it cool off first. Then put it in the fridge, and every couple of days or every day or so I'll just turn it over so that it all mixes up properly. And that's a pickled fish made for Easter. So hopefully you appreciated that. I know it's a long time since we've done a cooking video, and this is a traditional type South African dish, so I thought I'd film it and maybe give it a go and see if you like it or not, and then let me know in the comments. As I say, it is a traditional Easter dish, but its origins are from Malaysia. But as you may or not be aware, that South Africa is a real mixture of all cultures. You've got Indian, Greek, Portuguese, British, Dutch, Malaysian, Chinese, so yeah, it's a complete melting pot of different origins. So as a result, the cuisine has also been adapted and changed according to tastes of the different cultures. So this one is originated in Malaysia, but it's very, very well taken on by all South Africans. So with that, thanks for watching. Right, so I'm back again. I hope you enjoyed that little cook-up. We haven't done a cooking video in ages, so I thought it was a good opportunity, seeing as it is a traditional South African dish, albeit that its origins in Malaysia. But as I said on the video, South Africa is a complete melting pot of all different cultures and nationalities. So yeah, the cuisine has really just been adapted, and if you choose, if you feel that you'd like to try it, please let me know in the comments afterwards what you thought of it. And I think the best way is to just jump onto Google and do a search for traditional South African pickled fish or curried fish or whatever for the spice mix, because as I said, Margaret bought that spice mix, so I have no idea what's in it. But there are recipes for the spices that are used traditionally. But I tell you now that there's probably as many pickled fish recipes as there are people in the country, because everybody has their own adaptations and their own little way of doing things. So just choose one that appeals to you and give it a try. And then let me know what you think of it if you do try it. As I say, we haven't even tasted this one. Because it now stands and pickles, and those flavors develop, and yeah, the longer it stands, the better actually. So it'll be good for 2 weeks in the fridge. But we'll have it over Easter, so after that we can tell you how that particular one came out, because I have no idea with that spice mix. And yeah, each time I make it is probably a little bit different too, because the different consistencies, maybe a little bit more vinegar, or so yeah, it's never the same twice, but the general flavor profile is probably the same each time. So with that, I'm just going to finish this video and say thank you for the comments, and please keep those comments, questions and suggestions for other videos coming down below. We'll do our best to try and do it. As I say, I'm not sure what's going to happen with work. If I get back into the night shifts, it's going to change the whole situation again. And yeah, I just hope that they come. Even though this week's only a four-day week, at least it'll help with some finance, which is becoming quite critical now, because it's the whole of March I never earned any money. So yeah, it's a bit of a thing. And if you want, just to hit that little like button down below. It just helps the algorithms apparently on YouTube. And then if you've only just found us, or you haven't subscribed, then just hit the subscribe and the little bell, and when you hit that bell, you'll be notified every time I drop a video onto YouTube. So with that, this one's gone on long enough now, so see you later, and thanks for watching. Bye.